This show is part of the RetroZap.com podcast network.
If I told you half the things I've heard about this Jabba the Hutt, you'd probably shoot me.
Right here, Jabba. Been waiting.
Hello there, Star Wars fans, and you're very, very welcome to a special episode of Blabba the Hutt.
The illustrious Jabba bids you welcome and will gladly pay you the reward of 25,000.
So the only thing that you can tell me is that I will find Jabba at Jabba's palace.
This episode is, first and foremost, is going to be Jamie solo, as Kate has arrived here in Ireland, and we got to meet and we got to hang out yesterday with the entire Blabba crew, and it was amazing to get everybody together. Kate is extremely excited to be in Europe, and even more excited to be in Dublin, and even more excited again to be on the way right now as we speak to Skellig Michael. She has taken the trip down to Portmagee, right down on the very, very, very southwest coast of Kerry, to get on a boat, drive 11 kilometers, sail 11 kilometers out to sea, and head to the set of the first Jedi Temple as seen at the end of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So Kate is here. She is off gallivanting around the southwest of Ireland, so I am going to be going through how, if you are planning to go to Celebration, how you can navigate the crazy world that is wristband queues. It was announced this week that Celebration stage panels, so every panel that's going to be on the Celebration stage, will be wristbanded, and in order to gain access to a Celebration panel, you must have that wristband. As well as that, it was also announced about the Star Wars Celebration Hasbro Black Series exclusive Kylo Ren figure, which is available at Forbidden Planet, which you also will need to get tickets for. So there's going to be a lot of queuing involved. One thing you won't have to queue for, Blob Alive live from the podcast stage at Star Wars Celebration on Friday the 15th of July. With all that set up, I think the best thing to do is just get straight into it. This isn't going to be a long episode, and unfortunately, if you are not lucky enough to be going to Star Wars Celebration, this episode may not be exactly what you're looking for, but hey, maybe listen along, because for those of you that are lucky enough to be going to Orlando, this could be a bit of foresight information for you to on what you can expect next year at Star Wars Celebration in Orlando. Okay, so first and foremost, Star Wars Celebration stage wristbands. There has been a lot of talk over the last kind of week about this. A lot of people are unhappy with the way that it's happening, but do you know what? It's the hand that we've been dealt, and therefore, as Star Wars fans going to this convention, the only thing we can do is try and be as prepared as we possibly can. So is that any panels that you're absolutely definitely interested in going to, make sure that you can get all the available and all the necessary wristbands in order to make sure you're in the Celebration stage for that particular panel. The main thing to understand is that every single panel of every single day on the Celebration stage across the weekend of Star Wars Celebration Europe is going to be wristbanded with individual wristbands. So, for example, there are 4 shows on the Celebration stage on the Friday. You have an hour with Mark Hamill, you have the Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, you have Star Wars Celebration Cosplay Championship, and then you have the screening of Star Wars A New Hope. So that means that on Friday there is going to be 4 individual wristbands for the 4 individual panels. The wristband queues will be for that day's panel. So if you queue up on a Friday morning, they will be only for the panels on the Friday of Star Wars Celebration. You cannot get in on the Friday and queue up for a panel that's on the Saturday or the Sunday, and vice versa. At this point, it's probably very important to say you need to have a plan. At this point, you really need to have a plan, because you will only be able to get 2 wristbands per day. So if you have a clash, try and make sure that you know what that clash is and what your priority is. And if it's on the celebration stage, you need to get down and get a wristband for that panel. You will be limited to 2 wristbands per day per fan. So, for example, again, on the Friday, if you wanted to go to the Star Wars Rogue One panel, but you were torn between, let's say, the screening of A New Hope and the hour with Mark Hamill, then you will need to decide what is your priority there. I would anticipate that Rogue One and An Hour with Mark Hamill are going to be the 2 hot panels on the Friday. Okay, so kind of going through the list on Star Wars Celebration. So all this detail is on Star Wars Celebration. It's not exactly the easiest to digest, but the wristbanding will start at the venue at approximately 6 a.m. each day. So if you really, really, really want to make sure you have wristbands for the Rogue One panel, which I think is definitely going to be the sellout one, you really need to be down there for 4:30 or 5 o'clock, each day, in order to make sure that you definitely get the wristband for those panels. A single wristband will be put on each person, so they're not going to give you the wristband. They're going to put it around your wrist. Anybody who's been to a gig or to a the pit area of a gig before will understand this, that the celebration staff or the staff at the event will be putting the wristband around your wrist. And unfortunately, if your friends want to go to the panel as well, extra wristbands will not be given to you. They will need to be present in order to receive wristbands, with exceptions for registered medical sticker companions. So obviously if somebody has a medical condition and cannot queue, you will have a specific registered medical sticker which will allow you to gain a second wristband or third or fourth or whatever, to give to that individual, to your companion. Once you have got one of your wristbands, you are more than welcome to join another panel queue, but unfortunately you will need to go right to the back of that panel queue and get yourself a second wristband. So again, this is back to your planning. Make sure you've got your priority. If you want to see Rogue One more than you want to see An Hour with Mark Hamill, then make sure you are in the Rogue One queue first, and then hopefully you can get yourself a wristband for Mark Hamill's interview Q&A as well. After you have received 2 panel wristbands, if all of the wristbands are gone, you can move to the Celebration Experience Hall shoots. So I'll explain what they are in a few minutes. If all wristbands are not given out before Celebration is open for the day, they will continue to be given out in the queue hall right up till the panel starts. So basically, if all of the wristbands have not been given out for, let's see who else is on, maybe the Cosplay Championship, there might not be the same interest as there would be for Rogue One, that wristbands will be given outside the hall on the run up to the panel until the panel starts. There will supposedly be overhead signage in the hall which will dictate whether or not the panel is completely full or whether it still has wristbands and tickets available. I believe there is going to be satellite rooms, so for example the big panels such as Rogue One and the closing ceremony on the Sunday will be broadcast into various other stages at the same time. All other stages, so the Galaxy stage and the behind the scenes stage, the fan collector stage and the 1/4 stage, which the Blabba the Hutt live with Following the Nerd is on Friday, none of these are going to be wristbanded. So it is only the Celebration stand, our stage, that is going to be wristbanded. So you do not need to worry about if you are looking to go to a panel on any of those other stages. You will not need to worry about queuing up and getting a wristband for that, with 2 exceptions. The Rogue One Star Wars panel on Friday, it will be wristbanded, and the feature filmmakers and closing ceremony on Sunday will also be wristbanded. So these are the 2 panels which will be broadcast into the Galaxy stage and the behind the scenes stage, and different coloured wristbands will be given for these against the Celebration stage colours. And these will be in the same Celebration stage queue. The Rogue One and the feature filmmakers panels will be streamed live into the Galaxy and behind the scenes stages. So if you do not get a chance, or if you do not get into the actual celebration stage, then you can see them as they are live streamed into the other 2 stages. Okay, so the main takeaway from this is that the wristbands begin being handed out to celebration attendees at 6 a.m. every morning. And if you really, really want to be at a panel, I suggest you are there well before 6, as I would imagine certain panels are definitely going to have a higher demand than others. So the likes of Carrie Fisher, the likes of Mark Hamill, the likes of the Rogue One, the likes of the closing ceremony, they are all going to be highly sought after wristbands. So if you have a intention to be in the actual room with the cast members and with the live Q&A sitting in front of you, you need to be down at the XL Centre before 6 a.m. every day. With that, also you need to make sure that you have a good solid plan in place, which you can do actually on the Star Wars Celebration app. It's actually a savage app. It's really, really good. I have downloaded it and I've put together my plan, and it is available for both iPhone and for Android. You can set your schedule, you can look at all the panels, you can see what time they're at, you can see if there's anything that clashes. It tells you if there's anything that clashes, which is amazing. It was also recommended by Amy Ratcliffe on a StarWars.com article that screenshotting your schedule is advisable, because we don't know what way the Wi-Fi in the XL Centre is going to be. I believe that there's in around 40,000 people expected to come through the XL Centre for Star Wars Celebration, and that's a lot of people riding on one Wi-Fi. So definitely set yourself up for success by screenshotting all of your schedule, so as that if Wi-Fi goes down, if mobile coverage goes down, you still have a visual aid to tell you what's where and when. So I had mentioned that once you get your wristbands that you enter into a Star Wars Experience Exhibition Hall Shoots. So the Hall Shoots, I don't know why they do this. It's really annoying. It's like they make these words so much more complicated than what they are. So essentially what this is once you've received your wristband for your celebration stage panels, or if you choose not to see any celebration stage panels, you can go straight into the Experience Exhibition Hall, which are basically lines to enter the building. Okay, so I don't know why they don't just call them lines rather than Celebration Experience Exhibition Hall Shoots, which is just confusing for people who now think that they need to queue up for something at a ridiculous time in the morning. So what you need to do is look out for your individual ticket types. So if you have a VIP ticket or if you have a medical sticker, then you will need to join the particular exhibition hall shoot or line. You will need to join the specific queue just for that for that ticket type, because the Jedi Master VIPs and the medical stickers will be led into the exhibition earlier than everybody else. So it is suggested on the StarWarsCelebration.com website that at 9:30 each morning, the Jedi Master VIP ticket holders will be led from the queue hall and into Celebration. And then at 10 o'clock, the medical sticker and companion shoot will be led into the con. Immediately after the medical sticker shoot clears, fans then will be let into the queue in order of which their shoot is lettered. So I assume there's going to be like shoot A, shoot B, shoot C, shoot D, E, F, G, the whole way through. And obviously, if you're in shoot Z, you're going to be last of the shoots to get in. After that, after all of the shoots have cleared, then the con will move to a free flow ticketing system, which essentially means that people can just move easily between exhibit halls and stages freely without having to show their badges again. Another thing that people are extremely excited about for Star Wars Celebration, and things that, again, you need to queue for and you need to get your plan in place ahead of going to the convention, is the new Hasbro Black Series Kylo Ren, the unmasked convention exclusive. So this figure is a beautiful figure of Kylo Ren. It's Adam Driver's likeness is fantastic, and it comes with the melted Darth Vader mask as well as a First Order backdrop. It is a exclusive that is going to be sold by Forbidden Planet, who will have a stall in the main hall. And again, you are going to need to queue to get a ticket in order to buy this figure. You cannot buy this figure without a ticket. And the figure itself is £32.99, and it will be only in limited release each day. So there's if you don't get a ticket on the Friday, there's still a chance that you could pick it up on the Saturday, and if you miss on Friday and Saturday, there's still a chance that you can pick up on the Sunday. So this is actually kind of I think this is a great idea. That means that if you miss out on it the Friday, you can make it your absolute priority, and you still have 2 more chances to do so on the Friday and the Saturday. The information for it is that you need to collect a ticket. Now, if you have a pen and you're really interested in this, make sure you type down this detail here. Collect a ticket from the queue hall S72. Now, personally, I don't know what that means. I'm sure it'll make way more sense when we get there, but that's what it's telling me here on the Celebration website. Collect a ticket from queue hall S72, and then you go and you purchase the figure from the Forbidden Planet booth, which is S1003. The tickets are released in 2 daily batches. One is from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m, so you can get a ticket then, and then also from 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. So they say that there's no need to rush. I would hope people are, not going to take the Black Friday approach to this, and they're going to be respectful of their fellow fans. But no sales of this figure will be made without the ticket, and only 1 figure will be available per attendee per day. Now, I do plan on getting one of these, and I would be very open to anybody who may be listening to this who is going to San Diego Comic-Con to do a direct exchange, that I will try get a second one of these for you if in return at San Diego Comic-Con you would do the same and return the favor with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Ben Kenobi Hasbro Black Series. So that is open to anybody who would be interested in doing a direct barter exchange. I will get them a Kylo Ren Black Series figure in exchange for the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Ben Kenobi, and it would just be a straight swap. Another thing to be excited about, and if you go to the Forbidden Planet stall at Celebration, is they actually have a heap load of exclusives here in at Celebration Europe. There's loads of different things, like there is a Sideshow 2016 convention exclusive unpainted prototype, which is a 1:6 scale of R2-D2. It is not my thing, not something I would be interested in. It's nearly £200, but I'm sure our good friend Kate DeBinko, Queen of Droids, may be checking on an extra bag in order to get this dude home. He is actually, the detail looks great, it looks really nice. It's just not something that I would be particularly excited for. Comics, on the other hand, obviously everybody knows I am a big fan of all of the new Star Wars comics. Some are good, some are bad, some are better than others, but there is a Star Wars Celebration exclusive Forbidden Planet cover for Han Solo. The variant cover is by Chris Samnee, and it is a limited edition run of 3,000 copies. And that is a very affordable price of just $4.99. Then there's loads of other things like Dark Side and Light Side covers of Star Wars Insider. Dark Side exclusive is featuring Kylo Ren, and then the Light Side exclusives is a very, very nice photo of our heroine Rey. So I think for me, Forbidden Planet is definitely going to be a destination. On another note, and we'll talk a little bit about this when we get to Blob Alive, but there is going to be a lot happening at the Penguin Random House stand. I've been talking with the guys there. They're going to help us out by way of prizes, and they are going to have Star Wars Aftermath Life Debt with a Star Wars Celebration Europe exclusive book wrap available only at the convention. As well as that, they're going to have posters from the Bloodline book. You've probably seen them, you probably recognize them, the Vote Leia posters. They're going to have them. either on sale or for free. I'm not sure, or I haven't been told exactly what we can expect from a price point for that, as well as all the other usual books, such as the Star Wars The Force Awakens novelization, Bloodline, Aftermath, all the usual books that you can expect. But I would imagine Life Debt is going to be a quick seller, especially considering the reviews it's getting. It got a stellar review from our writer Gary O'Toole, who read the book in a little under 3 days, which tells you exactly how good this book is. And I think it's going to be a quick seller, so I would say get down to the Penguin Random House stall as quickly as you can. And if you are talking to the guys, let them know that you heard about the exclusives on Blabba the Hutt, and let them know that we sent you down there. It's also important at this point to say that none of these guys are paying us. We are just excited about certain things in this con, and we want to make sure that we can get all of these details, all these little details that make your experience at the con just that little bit easier. Now it's time to jump onto Blob Alive. So I realized about a week ago that Blob Alive, which will happen at 1:30 on Friday the 15th of July, will be just shy of our very first birthday. We will be about 357 days into this journey, and that is incredible, because when I started this, never did I think that in less than a year I would be presenting a live show of Blabba the Hutt at the biggest Star Wars convention in the world. So, Blabba Alive, 1:15 or 1:30 to 2:15 on the 1/4 stage. We are joined very, very, very welcomely. We are joined by our friends from Following the Nerd. Mark Savage will be joining us on stage on the day, and we're going to be talking a lot about Star Wars in Ireland and how, you know, Ireland fits into the Star Wars universe at this point in time. And we're also, you know, we're an Irish panel full of Irish people. There's an unpredictability there. You just really never know what is going to happen. We will have prizes on the day to give out to people within the audience. Penguin Random House have given us some really nice stuff, including a copy of that Celebration exclusive wrap for Aftermath Life Debt. They've also given us some posters, some books, so it's going to be a fun time, and we really, really, really would like it if you could pop along on the day. We're not at present clashing with any of the major panels, which is really, really exciting for us, because obviously there's so much going on in Star Wars Celebration that it would be a absolute nightmare if we were to clash with somebody like Mark Hamill or the Rogue One. At present, the only thing that we are clashing with is another panel called Food Premiums from France, 3 decades of eating with Star Wars. So I think both of our panels are going to be different enough in order to split the audience. So definitely, if you are hanging around the convention and are looking for something to do at 1:30 till 2:15, the 1/4 stage, which is presented by our friends over at Jedi News, is at door S10, which is in the south entrance of the con. The 1/4 stage will see Blabba the Hutt and Following the Nerd take on the Emerald Hour, which will be a 45-minute presentation of both of our podcasts, where we're going to shoot the breeze, have a bit of fun, talk a little Star Wars, interact with the crowd. Again, we've got prizes to give away. Of course, our good friend Kate DeBinko will be just back from Skellig Michael, so we are so excited to see what she saw, what she did, you know, how she got on, whether she found the first Jedi temples, did she get an opportunity to get into the Beehive Huts, and, you know, just generally we're going to have a good time. It's an Irish panel, so the nature of the Irish people is that we're a little bit unpredictable. We're a little bit, you know, you're never really going to know. Things can digress very, very quickly. More than anything, if you are going to Star Wars Celebration, all of us here at Blabba the Hutt hope that you have the best weekend that you possibly can, and that hopefully this little, you know, short, exclusive, special podcast has given you a little bit of information in order to really put your plan in place, make sure you've got nothing clashing, again, download that app. That app is brilliant for telling you whether you've got anything clashing. So what I would think is, if you could take out your phone now, download the app, go to the scheduling section, find Blabba the Hutt on the 1/4 stage, and just hit attending, because we know it is going to be a special day for us, and we would hope that you can join us in celebrating our first birthday on the 1/4 stage at Celebration. So from all of us here at Blabba the Hutt, we hope that you have a great weekend. Stay safe, and make sure, as I said, with things like the Hasbro exclusives, let's not take a Black Friday approach. Let's take a more calm, organised and respectful approach towards the queuing here. And hopefully, with the little bits of detail and little clarifications that you got in this episode, you will minimise your queuing, and more than anything, you will minimise the disappointment of maybe not getting to some of those panels. Again, even if you are not in the main celebration stage for some of the big panels, remember that on those galaxy stages and behind the scenes stages where they're going to be live streaming the main panels, you're still going to be surrounded by like-minded people. You're still going to be surrounded by the best fans in fandom. You're still going to be surrounded by Star Wars fans and people who are there and are as excited about these things as you are. So if you don't get into those panels, just make sure that you still go to one of the secondary stages to watch the panel and get excited and feel the buzz that only comes from being surrounded by like-minded people. Also, if there is anything that you need further clarification on, obviously the Star Wars Celebration app is going to be a huge asset to you, but all of the information in its crazy, undigestible form is on StarWarsCelebration.com. You will be able to get all the information, all the schedules, everything is up there, and you can start to build out your schedule from there.
Cut the channel, Red 2.
From all of us at Blob Alive, thank you very much for tuning in to this Star Wars Celebration Europe exclusive special preview of the show. And as always, if you want to interact with us, we are going to be at the show, so keep an eye on our Twitter, which is at Blabba the Hutt on Twitter. We are also on Facebook, so all you need to do is search Blabba the Hutt, and you can get all of our news, reviews and discussion on blabbathehutt.net, where you will be able to flick through the back catalogue of all of our podcasts, all of our write-ups. You know, we've got lots and lots of varying content in there, everything from book reviews to games to, you know, you name it, it's up there. We've got a lot of the Irish news, but more than anything, we hope to bump into you on the weekend. And if you are going to Celebration, please hook up with us, let us know where you're going to be. If you want to, and if you can make it to our panel, we would be very excited to come and talk to you after or before. Both myself and Kate will be there, and Mark from Following the Nerd will be there. So please come by and say hello. But from all of us, have a great weekend.
He makes it look better.